Thank you for joining me. Not quite there yet. It's just a few seconds. And being punctual is pretty good. And I normally am. It is 7 o'clock on the dot. Thank you for joining me. And we are going to continue talking about New Zealand USD. Now, I know I've been talking about it for quite some time now. Problem is, or it's not really a problem, I'm still in it. So we're going to open it up and let you see what's going on. And if you recall last time, I moved it to my stop loss to 4,000 pips. Basically, $40 loss if it goes that way. So if you can take a look here, if it will allow me to show you. If you look at the stop loss on the middle screen, or the lower hand screen, right basically in the middle, it says SNL, which is stop loss, and it's at 64,310. And I'm in the day. That's probably why it's not pulling up. So I moved to the 4 hour, and it is showing you it's 4,000 or $40 negative. My entry price is currently still at 68.68310, and my take profit is still at the 0.72310, or 4,000 pips to $40 profit. And keep in mind, right now, yesterday we were currently at $25.85 negative. As you can see, it's been going quite interesting. Up, down, and it's very small, but it's quite large. If you think about it, it's a couple hundred pips difference. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm looking at this, and I know it will do what I want it to do. It just takes time. There's no such thing as rushing when it comes to the trades or the market, any trade, any pair. You take your time, unless you are in a smaller time frame, and you can go in and do it quite nicely. When it was doing this, the fall, hit my stop loss, I could have put other entry points and picked up on that. So instead of a buy, it would have been a sell. The only issue is the longer I'm in this one trade, the less I do. I only keep it to one place. That way, it can go as long as necessary, and it doesn't stop me out. But I have talked to people, and in most situations, as long as it's not Forex.com, you can put in other entry points. However, Forex.com has a first in, first out rule. And that means the first entry price that you put in has to be the first one you take profit or loss on, regardless with how many others you have. So if I put in a sale in this, when it was doing the down slope here, I would have to get rid of my buy before I got rid of the sell. First in, first out. And it's a rule that some brokers have and some do not. It all depends on the broker you decide to go with. Once that's done, we still go with the 4 hour chart, and we go in and make sure our entry price is still where we want it to be. Our take profit is still where we want it to be. And when it was getting over $28 to $30, I actually moved my stop loss once again to a price that I can afford. If you look at the account, my balance is over $500. So 5,000 stop loss is not going to hurt me. It's only 50 bucks. It's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to show you how I do that. When I go into stop loss, I can click on modify this chart, and it pulls up a screen where I can actually decrease it by 5,000 pips, and it changes it, and I took it right there. So it moves my stop loss to 50. And I can move my take profit up as well. And I probably will, because I like the 1-to-1 ratio. So here we will go to 73. Just like so. And that moves it to the 50 or the 5,000 pips, the $50 profit. And knowing how it goes, see, you can take a look. When it decides to turn around, and it will, it's still in the take profit. It's still there. That's $50 take profit or $50 stop loss. Either way, it's a good thing, and I won't be losing a lot. If you take a look at my margin now, my margin level has dropped to 23.92 instead of 24. It's still very good and very high. No longer an issue. It's ideal, and I can ride this as long as necessary. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty good. And I have the patience. Trading with patience is a must. Trading with no emotion is even better. Excuse me. Time, consistency, patience, allow it to do what it wants to do. As you can see, it's going to be turning around here shortly. I went to the week to give you a better idea. And it's still above my stop loss, even with a week, the weekly chart. But it's going to be flipping around, and you can follow the trend. The reason I don't have any indicators on my charts is because I can't have a difficult time relearning every day. And because of that, I go through grand mal seizures while I sleep, so I lose my memory. And I have to learn everything all over every day. So putting indicators on is just a little too much for me to do. So a beginner can really do this. And I'm succeeding at this. Initially, I started at $50. Now I'm over 500. So it's an awesome feeling to see how that works. And it was only about, I would say, 2 months. Most people will say, wow, that's a long time. But if you think about it, it's 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month, and then you have 8 weeks. So in 8 weeks, I increased my balance by 100% and plus, because I went from 50 to 500. There's a big difference. And keep in mind, you do not have to start a trade at a high point, high amount of a deposit, $10, and you can get going. Keep in mind, the lower you go, the less time you can actually stay in that trade without it kicking you out. It all depends on where your leverage is, how much you want to possibly lose. Never trade something you can not live without. When I do my trades, this money that's here, I don't have it. I consider that it's not free and I can't grab it whenever I need it. So it's a win-win-win because my brain's not saying, hey, you know what? All I have to do is pull this money out and I can use it for anything. And there will be a time when I will withdraw, but it won't be the full amount. And it doesn't hurt to have more than one broker. Keep that in mind. Now we're going to stop our screen share because I have something I want to talk to you about right now, 6 p.m. Central. If you go to my Facebook like page, you will see that there is actually a presentation going on with David E. Monetier. The information's there. The link is there. All you have to do is log in and sit back and pay attention. Do so. It started at 6 p.m. Central. And it's been going all, well, the last 3 days. Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 3 times each day. So I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I need you to go take a look at that. That way, you will understand why we're talking so much about IML and the SOARS event in Fort Lauderdale in a little over 3 weeks. You'll understand the importance of the education that you will receive. So we're going to let you go. And thank you for joining me. But before I do, are there any questions? Going once? Going twice? Gone. Thank you very much. Now hurry and get over there. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great night.